everyone, Scott or the Scottman, and we're here to do a drive video today. We are out here in Katy, Texas. We're on I-10. We're going to be going east on the Katy Freeway today. This is the western part of I-10, which goes west of Houston as it heads out toward San Antonio. But we're, of course, driving east on I-10 today. We're going to be heading into Houston. So I'm going to be taking this all the way over to I-45, just northwest of downtown Houston. And then, although this video is going up well into the New Year, but I'm filming this on New Year's Day, so Happy New Year. Well, belated New Year. See, this is the first video I'm recording in 2022 itself. Yep, this is my second freeway video I've done here in the Houston metro area. I already did one on the Sam Houston Tollway, or Beltway 8, going around the north and northwest and then the western part of Houston. So yeah, we're still like in the eastern part of the Katy area. Shortly we'll be starting to get back in, or get into the Houston city limits. But yeah, I know like over the years there's been a lot of expansion out to this part of the metro area. It's like heading out toward Katy. But yeah, it is a warm day out today. It is, my car thermometer is, it's not even lunchtime yet. My car thermometer is reading 78 degrees Fahrenheit, which is just above 25 degrees Celsius. And yeah, right over here, back to the weather in a second, but yeah, that's where the HOV lanes start. And what we'll see when we get close to Highway 6 is that they added on a toll road in the inner lanes of the freeway, where they made a toll portion, allowing people to potentially bypass heavier traffic in these lanes. But of course, you have to pay a fee to drive it. And then I think during certain times, if you have 2 or maybe 3 plus people in your car, I think you might either get to drive the Katy Tollway lanes, which again, they don't start up until another few miles from now, or you can either drive that for free or you get a big discount. But yeah, it's like, yeah, to see like temperatures close to 80 degrees Fahrenheit for New Year's Day in Houston, it's not that common. It's possible because I know there has been record temperatures that have been set around here with these temperatures, but it's unseasonably warm. But it feels nice for someone like me from Michigan, where, let's just say today, where I live in Michigan, in the Metro Detroit area, we're seeing 3 to 5 inches of snow, and it's supposed to be around the freezing mark. Or heck, up in Minneapolis today, it's supposed to be 2 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. That is cold. It's like if you really do a temperature difference in Fahrenheit from Minneapolis to Houston, it's going to be like an 82 to 84 degree difference. And you can pretty much guess where I would rather be. And that's where I'm driving right now. But I'll be seeing some colder weather coming in this evening, because the same cold front that Detroit's getting today, we're getting down here as well. So it's going to feel pretty cold tomorrow, like mid-40s for a high tomorrow. So for Houstonians, it's going to be pretty bitter. But for a Michigander like me, it's going to feel cold, but tolerable. But it'll warm back up, though. But I'm down in Houston for a good week. And then, yeah, as of right now, I'm planning to head back to Michigan the following weekend. But yeah, this past week, I've been down here mainly seeing some, because most of my family's in Michigan, but I do have some family who live down in Southeast Southeast Texas. Just for example, a few days ago I got to see my cousin Lauren, who she used to live in Colorado, but she had to move down to Victoria, Texas for work. So I got to see her for the first time in almost 3 years. And then my aunt from Colorado, who's been in my videos quite often, she was down visiting Lauren as well for a longer period of time. So I got to see both of them, which is really cool. And then right now in Houston, I'm seeing my aunt on my dad's side of the family, as well as my last living grandparent, my dad's mother, so my paternal grandmother. She has really bad dementia, and it's gotten a lot worse. But what was really touching is that she still remembered who I was, which is awesome. Because my dad was worrying me, she may not recognize you.
In half a mile, keep right at the fork to stay on I-10 East.
I'm surprised Google's not having me go on the toll road, because Google loves to do that. So coming up to the left here, this is where the HOV lanes end, and this is
right at the fork to stay on I-10 East.
And this is where the Katy Tollway starts. So yeah, notice how really wide this freeway is. It's supposed to be one of the widest freeways in North America. Because I think it's even wider than the 401 in Toronto, which I've driven on before, and that is at one giant parking lot. Although during rush hour, this could be one giant parking lot too. But yeah, the Katy Tollway is a nice alternative if you want to have lighter traffic. Although for New Year's Day, this is not going to be all that bad. And then we just passed the exit for Highway 6, which is a major highway which goes through the western part of the Houston area, or the Houston metro area. Because once you go north of Highway 6, as you go north of like the Bear Creek area, you get to some huge shopping areas. Lots of restaurants, stores, businesses. It's a really busy and heavy trafficked road going all the way up to basically up to 290, where it intersects with 290 and 1960. So about to the right, this is what's called the Energy Corridor. And you got a lot of different offices for a lot of the corporations that are in the energy industry. Because yeah, Houston is has a big industry for oil. But yeah, it's really cool to see. There's so many buildings, and you're not even not just in downtown Houston, or even uptown Houston, or by like the Galleria. And then also in the areas off to the right too, between here and Westheim area, it's also a very rich area, meaning in terms of like residential areas. It's like upper middle class at least, because you have a lot of really nice homes, especially as you get down toward like around the Memorial Drive corridor. But yeah, when I was a kid, because although I've lived in Michigan, I said this in my previous driving video, but I was born and raised in Michigan. I lived in Michigan almost all my life. Although for 4 years when I was a kid, between I think just before my 5th birthday until my 9th birthday, my parents and I lived down in the Houston area. We lived up in the northern part of the city, over near like the Beltway 249 area. But it's like I remember when I was a kid, yeah, I-10 was such a narrow freeway, only 3 lanes to each side. It's like if they would not have made this expansion for this freeway that you're seeing right now, would take people 5 hours to get into work into downtown Houston from like Katy, just because there'd be so much heavy traffic. Yeah, when there's not a lot of traffic out, yeah, this is really nice. Lots of lanes, and you can easily get around people that are going a little bit too slow. But during rush hour traffic, this can be a headache. Or maybe, now that's, I'm talking too lightly. It'd be a migraine. As a matter of fact, you pretty much do not want to be on the freeways during rush hour traffic. Let's say between like 4 and 6 p.m. and who knows, Houstonians watching this video might be like, Scott, man, more like 3 to 6 or 3 to 7. You don't want to be on the freeways. And yeah, this is a big interchange for the Sam Houston Tollway, which, as I was saying earlier, that I did a video on this. I think I uploaded the previous week. Yeah, Beltway 8 going south, I'll take it down to the West Chase area, which is another huge area with a lot of corporations, and then eventually down toward the Alief and Sharpstown area. Going north, I'll take up toward Jersey Village, and then eventually hooks back to the east, over by like the Willowbrook and Greens Point area, and then heads over toward Intercontinental Airport. So now I would say, yeah, we're in this is like the Memorial City area. Because yeah, you got Memorial City Mall that's over at the interchange with the I-10 and Gessner, which I think we just, okay, I think we're about to go over Gessner Road right now. So yeah, this is a big shopping area too, because yeah, you got Macy's, Target. Try to see some of the other acres that are in there. Yeah, it's hard to tell without trying to stay focused on the freeway, but yeah, I remember when the 4 years I lived in Houston, I remember going to Memorial City Mall when I was a kid. I think I was like, I remember the one time I went with my grandmother, who I just talked about earlier in this video, as well as my step-grandfather, because my paternal grandfather unfortunately passed away a year or two before I was even born. And as well as my cousins, or my aunt has a son who's a couple years younger than me. I think around the same age as Lauren. So I remember we went to Memorial City Mall around the holidays. I got to see Santa Claus and told Santa what I wanted for Christmas. But one of the things I really wanted, along with, I think it was Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo. Well, I might even see a little bit of a quick shower. Although it's more just sprinkles than anything else. But the other thing I wanted to get was a remote control car, and I forgot to tell Santa Claus that. And I was really disappointed and sad after leaving Santa Claus. But sure enough, I ended up getting one for Christmas, so it's like he knows. But yeah, continuing off to the right here, yeah, this is another, again, still more of an upscale area, because again, like Hunters Creek Village, Piney Point Village, like those are really upscale areas, to where there's even like mansions in there. And then off to the left, that is the Spring Branch area, which my grandmother and my step-grandfather even had a home in Spring Branch. I think they got the house in Spring Branch around the time that my parents and I moved back up to Michigan. to say about the Katy Tollway is that it is a cashless toll road, so you need to have the easy tag, or I think the Texas tag is even allowed too. And then for out-of-town visitors or people who don't use the toll roads very often, you can also do Easy Tag Express, where it just reads your license plate and then finds you in the system. So like with my car, for example, because I have Michigan license plates, and of course I live in Michigan, obviously to get the actual Easy Tag, it would be a waste of money for me. But if I wanted to go on the toll roads, I could do so by signing up for Easy Tag Express, which that's what I did for driving on the Sam Houston Tollway in the other video. But traffic's light, so it makes no sense to go on the toll road, waste that money. So about another mile, we'll be coming up to 610, or technically 610 West, because 610 is a inner loop around Houston, where Beltway 8 or Sam Houston Tollway, it's a more outer loop. And then there's also an even more outer loop called the Grand Parkway, which is mostly complete. They're still doing some, they're still extending that. But that's going to be even more of an outer loop. 610 is the only loop around Houston where it is entirely free. And this is the exit for 610. 610 South will take you down the Uptown area over by like the Galleria, and it'll take you down toward 59, and then further south down toward Bel Air, and then it hooks back around over toward where NRG Stadium is, where the Houston Texans play. And then 610 North, that'll take you loop around to the northwest and the northern part of the Heights area. So yeah, only have about another 5 miles to go till we get to near the end of the video. So I should be able to finish off the video where we'll get a really good view of the skyline of Houston. Which Houston has a pretty impressive skyline, I have to say. The best views of the Houston skyline are definitely over at the Buffalo Bayou Park over by like Memorial Drive and Allen Parkway. And yeah, off to the right, that is Memorial Park, which is a pretty large park that's between 610 and like the Heights area, the Heights district, and then of course the Buffalo Bayou Park, which I was just talking about. We get some of the best views of the Houston skyline. And yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, and back at 610, that's where the Katy Tollway ends. But even without the toll road, it's still a pretty wide freeway. So yeah, in here, this is where, or this is pretty much the Heights district now, or like the Heights. I know the Heights district has seen a lot of gentrification in recent years. There are a lot of different restaurants in there too. Although there's a restaurant planning to go to for lunch today. That's I'm going to, and that's in Midtown. Which Midtown is another big area for restaurants as well as bars and like the nightlife. Definitely nice to be back down in Houston again, because I haven't been back in a few years. And then yeah, I'll be leaving my aunt's tomorrow, and then yeah, because I'll be doing some remote work Oh, you can see the Houston skyline off to the right a little bit. We'll get a better view as we conclude the video.
In 2 miles, take exit 768B on the left for I-45 south toward Galveston.
I have my navigation navigating me to Midtown, so you're going to hear that going off periodically. So that way I'll be able to work remotely, because we're not back in the office for another week, but we're working remotely for the first week, with it being the holidays, or the end of the holidays. So it's like, why not stay down in Houston for an extra week to enjoy the warm weather before going back to, I almost could say the Great White North, but that's technically Canada. Or to where it's cold and snowy. Oh, I do need to be over to the left. So yeah, go to Midtown, yeah, and or even the downtown Houston, you gotta follow the signs for I-10, or I mean I-45 south for Galveston. Bunch of fast-moving cars coming up to the left of me, so I'm gonna wait for them to pass, and then I'll have to get over. I-45 north goes up toward Dallas, and of course, well, first the Greens Point and the Spring areas, and then also the Woodlands.
In half a mile, take exit 768B on the left for I-45 south toward Galveston.
And I-45 south, of course, goes to downtown Houston, goes down toward where Hobby Airport is, which is for Southwest Airlines, and then also eventually ends at Galveston. Oh yeah, here's the Houston skyline, so...
Take exit 768B on the left.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get off the I-10 here. So I hope you enjoyed this video of I-10 East, the Katy Freeway, going from the Grand Parkway all the way to I-45 here in Houston. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that subscribe button to come along and join me for the venture. And don't forget to click that notification bell so that you already know when a new video goes live. Well, thank you for watching, and this is Scott of the Scottman signing out.